Hey there everybody and welcome back to Nerd Dog Reviews. 2020 was a bit of a dry spell for fans of the MCU as we didn't get any new movies or series, but that all changes this week with WandaVision releasing on Disney Plus January 15th, and I know you're excited about it, so let's dive on in. Fans have been patiently, or not so patiently, waiting for Disney Plus to release their upcoming MCU series, and we're starting off with WandaVision. The plot has been described as blending the styles of classic TV sitcoms with the MCU, and the trailers that we saw showed us exactly that. We didn't learn a lot about the plot from those trailers, but we see Wanda and Vision living in a suburban setting, sometimes in black and white and sometimes in color. Now this review is only for the first 3 episodes because, well, that's all I've seen. I clearly didn't grow up in the 1950s, as you can see from my boyishly young good looks, but I did grow up in the 90s, and you know what we had? Nick at Night.
Hello out there from TV land.
And that's what I grew up on. I absolutely loved those classic comedies. I Love Lucy, Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie. I miss those shows because, well, this?
You think they could make a glamour girl out of me? Sure. Says right here, we work miracles.
Is better than this.
Penny. Penny. Penny.
WandaVision takes you back there, like completely back there. From the acting, the wardrobe, set design, all the way to the square aspect ratio, the video appears on screen in. It dives in and fully commits to the classic TV tropes that it's paying homage to. I mean, this really feels like we're watching something that could have been airing right alongside the Dick Van Dyke Show. The first couple of episodes lean most heavily on Bewitched, and that makes sense because Bewitched was about a husband and a wife, but the wife was a witch. She has to hide her abilities and her powers, and the need to hide her abilities is the driving force for the humor. That's the case here as well. We all know Wanda as one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But here, her powers are used for chores and suburban living as a housewife, cooking dinner and vacuuming the floors. But we all know her strongest ability is the ability to randomly lose a Russian accent, am I right?
I can read him. He's dreaming.
The show transitions from one era of television to the next over the course of its episodes, and we see Wanda and Vision living in a 70s style household that feels like it's straight out of the Brady Bunch. And while this easily could have felt like a gimmick, it never does. The characters feel right at home in these settings, and the idea never feels like it's being dragged out or overdone. This is by far the most different thing to come out of the MCU. It leans heavily into the comedy, but it's not the typical MCU comedy like a quip from Tony Stark.
I'm sorry, Earth is closed today. It means get lost, Squidward.
It's sitcom comedy, but it's sitcom comedy done well. A series like this is really perfect for the characters of Wanda and Vision. We haven't gotten to see them be the focus of their own story yet, and it was unlikely that they were ever going to get a standalone movie. Especially after, you know. It's nothing against the characters, they're great, and Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany are amazing in these roles, and they're not alone here. The suburban setting is filled with quirky characters and the supporting cast is all on point, but the majority of the show is still focused primarily on its 2 leads as it should be. One thing the show did really well these first few episodes was hint at something darker. There are secrets, unanswered questions. It plays the part of a happy-go-lucky sitcom so well that it's easy to forget what we all know. This isn't real, or at least it's not what it appears to be. So they remind you, just slightly, just enough to make you go, wait a second, what's going on here? The series is 9 episodes long, but if these first 3 episodes are any indication about how the rest of the season will go, then we are in for an amazing show. Seriously, this could be my favorite thing to come out of the MCU in a long time. It's so original and so good at what it sets out to be. And because it's so different, there may be fans who don't like it as much as I do, and that's okay. They're just wrong. This is a spoiler-free review, so I have to be careful on how much I say.
Spoilers!
But just know that big things are happening here. There is build-up to something, and it feels really important. We already know that the events of this series connect directly with the next Doctor Strange film, and since that film is titled In the Multiverse of Madness, I'd say it's fair to assume something sinister is coming. The first 2 episodes will land on Disney Plus on the 15th, and after that they'll release 1 episode per week. After you watch the first couple of episodes, be sure to let me know what you thought. I'm dying to talk to somebody about it. Please come comment on my stuff and talk to me. And check out our Inside Fandom podcast every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we'll be talking about each episode as it airs. And be sure to like and follow us on Facebook for more great reviews on upcoming content. I'm Joshua Ryan, and I'll see you next time.